Hi guys, happy Thursday. Today is a slightly crazy manic day in the book world because it's Super Thursday, which means a lot of publishers are bringing out their big titles for the winter season or the Christmas season. I know it's October, but in the build up to Christmas. So many books, hundreds are being published today, which is exciting, if a bit terrifying. It's also the first day of Books in My Bag campaign this year, which is going on for 3 days. If you missed it, last week I uploaded a Books in My Bag unboxing. Books in My Bag is a celebration of bookshops, and I'm giving away some things, and that giveaway closes on Saturday the 10th of October, which is the final day of Books in My Bag. So if you want to go and enter that, I'll leave a link down below, and I'll also add in a link here. It is also National Poetry today. So that's why I'm here. I thought I would quickly tell you about 6 poetry collections that I've been reading recently and am really enjoying. I haven't spoken about them yet on this channel, I don't think, apart from when they've popped up in hauls before, so you won't have seen them before on here. I've made plenty of poetry recommendation videos in the past, which I will link down in the description, from how to approach poetry, from poetry recommendations, to me reading some of my own poetry. So yes, all of those will be in the description today, but these are 6 books that I'm loving right now that I want to tell you about. I will give you a quick snippet, a quick look at them. Let's go. The first one I want to mention is John Burnside's The Asylum Dance, because since reading The Dumb House, I've gone back to look at his poetry, and if you're wondering, yes, his poetry is as dark as his novels. This is what it says inside the flap of The Asylum Dance. Lucid, tender, and strangely troubling, the poems in The Asylum Dance, John Burnside's 7th collection, are hymns to the tension between sanctuary of home and the lure of escape. This is territory that Burnside has made his own, a domestic world threaded through with myth and longing, beyond which lies a no man's land. Shall I read you a little snippet? Let's see. This is the beginning of a poem called Adam and Eve. I always think of them as innocents. Too much intended for sin, they walk their garden, stunned with a local wonder. Angels and beasts, inured to everything but them, or lost in unwitting joy, like the dreamed unborn. He is a master of poetry, so if you haven't read his poems, you should definitely check him out. One that I finished the other day is Young Tambling by Kate Greenstreet, and this is one of those poetry collections that kind of crosses genres because there are strange photographs in here. There are words that are half printed deliberately so that you can't read them. It starts by looking at the origin of fairy tales and what happens in forests and how men have power, and then it leads into her life story and her relationship. It says on the back, based on a true story, and it's just absolutely enchanting. It defies narrative. A lot of it is very disjointed, lots of snippets of conversations. I found it really, really beautiful. There were some parts that I loved more than others. I think I preferred the beginning over the end, but still, like, so much in here that you can love. He was alone in that house. There was a door, a social context. I often wanted to enter his home, but even now I am perhaps not speaking. Knocked into the pink hourglass. The close and far, the empty pool, the columns. That's how I feel when I'm being her. It's kind of a singular poem that just runs throughout. It doesn't have individual titles. It's all part of one story, snippets, snapshots of a story. It's wonderful. The next one I'd like to recommend, especially for people who are maybe scared of poetry and don't read it very often. This is a great way in. It's called No Matter the Wreckage by Sarah Kay, who is a fantastic spoken word poet. I'll leave a video down below to her reading one of her poems. They're really, really narrative, and I don't want to say, like, they're easy to follow, but not in a patronising way. It's like, sit you down, I'm going to tell you stories. That's basically what Sarah Kay wants to do. She wants to tell you about the things that she's learned in her life, and it's wonderful. Let's see. This one is called The Shirt, which is about keeping a man's shirt after you have spent the night with him, and it says, the night I slept over, you lent me your shirt. When I wore it out of the bathroom, you laughed and said, oh well, now it's yours. I did not understand what you meant, but you insisted I keep it. So the first couple of nights I wore it like a puddle, splashed through it, trying to remember how the rain felt. The next time I saw you, I was embarrassed. I had tried to make it into something beautiful. I had done my best to find something new to show you. You laughed again, your popcorn laugh. And I said, you don't have to make it into anything. And I didn't understand, so you said, does it fit? And I said, yes. Then just wear it, silly. There's also a middle bit that's a much longer poem, but those are bits from that poem. I just think that They're warm. They're really warm. Another that I am reading right now and devouring slowly because I can't quite get over the beauty is Corey Van Lingdam's Antidote, which, I mean, firstly, look at this cover. It's twisted, it's fairy tales, it's all about female characters in stories. Have I sold it to you yet? It says on the back, wild and surreal and driven by loss, Antidote invites both the beautiful and the brutal into its arms, allowing for shocking declarations about love that is like hibernation, a car crash, or a parasite. Time, geography, and landscapes are called into question as backdrops for various forms of valediction. It soon becomes clear that there is no antidote one can take for grief or heartbreak, that love can at times feel like violence, and that no one may never get better at saying goodbye. The first few lines, okay? Autonomy, landscape, terrible love. Never mind cycles. Never mind the way parasites train for survival, or how bears turn their bodies off continually inside some hollowed out tree trunk where love is nothing, yet it is still something that sleeps. I want to carry it around with me always. And finally, two books that I'm reading which are from Yes Yes Books, which are an amazing publishing press in the States. You can't buy their stuff outside of that publisher's website, but the shipping's not too bad for international stuff. As always, I'll link all the books down below. This one is Some Planet by John Mortura, and it's full of instructions, and some of the poems are like flowcharts, and I can't get over it. It's absolutely such a wonderful idea. So you start here, it says, I have a mouth that needs to be shut. And then the top one says, I've been searching for something to shut it. The bottom one says, I need you to shut it. And then you follow the path all the way along until you get to the end. And the only option you can get to is my mouth has been open far too long. And back to the beginning, I have a mouth that needs to be shut. It's fascinating, plays with form so well. And then this one, Pelican by Emily O'Neill, is about grief and the death of her father and becoming confident in yourself. It has this amazing poem inside called When I'm Bad, I'm Better. It's fantastic. So she hears about this person who's called her a slut when she's not there because she's gone and slept with someone who isn't him. She's not dating this person. This person's just jealous because she isn't seeing him as the only man in the world. And she plays with mythology and magic and dark magic and women being seen as witches for having sexuality. The first bit says, the first time somebody called me a slut, I was not present. I was somewhere wet being a mermaid. I was busy with black magic being burned alive for the sound of my voice. It's wonderful. It has a lot of that about being independent, about ownership of your own body, but it also has the loss of body and the loss of father and family units and waiting for death. And I'm finding it wonderful. So those are some of the poetry collections that I'm absolutely adoring at the moment. As always, I will link them down below. I'm filming this on Thursday, so last night I did manage to complete my 100 poem challenge, and thank you so much to everyone who's been supporting it. All of the poems are now on the blog, 100poemchallenge.blogspot.com. Again, I'll link that down below. Wrote 100 poems in 48 hours to raise money for charity. You can still donate to the book bus. That charity page is going to be up for another 2 weeks. You can buy limited edition poetry pamphlets of the poems, and they're a wonderful cause. So if you do want to go check those out, go and check those out. And thank you again to everyone who is sending me virtual cups of tea via Twitter, because they were very much appreciated. I did vlog the 100 poem challenge a little bit. I sort of failed on the vlogging front because I was focusing mainly on doing the actual writing, but that vlog will be up this weekend for those who are interested. Please let me know in the comments down below what poetry you love, and if you like the sound of any of these. I will be making a video in the not too distant future about poetry recommendations, specifically for people who are very new to poetry, who are scared of poetry, who don't know where to start. That will be coming soon, I promise. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Hope you have a great weekend. Lots of bookish love. Bye. Happy National Poetry Day.